Hello everybody, welcome to Nego Tarot Odyssey. Today's read is going to be about what is key for your happiness and abundance in your best possible future. What are some things that you can look for, reach for, and have be available to you for your best, brightest outcomes. Okay, we have 3 cards to choose from. Illumination, which is everything is in perfect balance. I often have to remind myself of that. If I have so much on my plate and I start to add more or mentally overwhelm myself, I just turn the switch off and I'm like, everything's in perfect balance. What's arriving for you is what you can handle, and you're just going to complete whatever you can, so on and so forth. And that's what we have to remind ourselves of so we don't get overwhelmed, because that can lead to perfectionism, procrastination, and a whole series of things that we no longer need. Number 2 is samadhi, which is perfect acceptance. That's just allowing for whatever to be without judgment, without criticizing, without angst, any of that. Just allowing. As you can see, people that might be claustrophobic would feel like they're being buried. They would feel scared. They would feel smothered. But she's just one with nature and just allowing and seeing. It's that mind over matter attribute, right? When you're flying, are you going to let a phobia take over you, or you're just going to have perfect acceptance of what's going on, just going with the flow and saving and persevering, because your energy will be, in reserve, because you haven't expended it on worry or anxiety, things like that. So beautiful. Group 3 is Merak, embrace oneness with the universe. And oftentimes the best way to do that, I find, is just to be out in nature. Sometimes it's the beauty and the splendor of the birds, the sky, the vastness that has us take that deep, beautiful breath that says, wow, how are all these miracles around me all the time? All these breeds of birds. Yesterday I went to my bird sanctuary nature walk, and there was a deer there, and this deer was just not afraid of us. We were taking pictures of it. In fact, I'll post it over on Instagram if you want to come see some of the photos. It's a bird sanctuary that has deer, it has foxes, it has turtles, it has everything. And at just the right moment in summer, when you walk through the bee and bird garden where they plant all these exotic flowers for the bees, it sounds like mini chainsaws going, because all the bees are concentrated in this one area. It's so amazing. The sounds are like otherworldly gorgeous. So we're going to begin with Illumination, or it might be Illumination, but whatever. We'll just call it E. And that also, it starts with a number 8 if that's a substantial number for you too. So everything is in perfect balance. We're going to begin and see, what is key here. What is going on? Aha, we always hear this, right? Balance. Balance is definitely key. Not going too far to the right or too far to the left. And this is in everything. This is boundaries. I'm definitely hearing boundaries in terms of boundaries of just letting people know your time is valuable, and you're not just giving away your greatest asset for nothing. If you have a skill set, like you're a painter, a singer, whatever, and people expect you to use your craft and your gifts to entertain them for free, I don't think so. People forget that because it's a creative and artistic gift, they don't know how to kind of place value on it. And a lot of artists have this fear of overpricing or devaluing. But in most cases, people just end up giving it away. And at this point, I feel like you're really going to draw the line. If you're a painter and somebody wants you to come in and paint their new child's nursery, that's your time. It's very valuable. So you're going to have a lovely balance with that. This is also saying that, eliminate anyone or anything who upsets the equilibrium in you. Embrace and get to fully know your shadow side with this. Hold on to the lessons from the past hurts. Seize the fruits of your labor. Because what happens is, if we just let bygones be bygones constantly, and people are kind of walking on us and taking our time, we do sense a kind of disbalance. If we're always giving and always going to watch our friends or relatives' children and giving up our time and sacrificing, what happens is people can get a sense of entitlement and just expect that. But your key to happiness is to say no when you mean no. When you want time to yourself, you're not somebody's dog's body. You're not here to be their nanny. You're not here to be their carpenter. You're not there to be anything and provide all these free services while they're out, gallivanting, enjoying their life. So that's what it is about balance. But this also has to do with your work and leisure time balance too. Put the things down work-wise when you need to, get away from those computer screens and go for a walk in nature, get that beautiful crisp air. This is going to be a huge, important component in your future for your state of mind. And that way you won't feel like whiplash, like you're going from one event to another, one workload to another, one social event to another, right? You're taking a breath in between so you can savor them and be present and feel all the beautiful experiences that come with that. Another thing you're going to be able to do that's very important is recognize, the awesome day, week, year making all these great strides in your life and seeing them as beautiful gifts and cherishing them and saying, wow, you know what? I am having successes. They don't have to be that gigantic, award or trophy. It's simply the fact that you're getting up each day and you're really plodding away and putting in that work and honing your craft and doing really, really well. And when you're realizing that, it's going to open new doors because you're realizing that the labors you're putting in are not fruitless. You're really trying. Now, another key to your happiness and your success is rhythms. Use your natural energy when you have it for the most daunting tasks. I have to do this too. I have the most energy right when I wake up and I'm very excited. Nothing has come in and clouded my day. So I use that right away to do public reads, to do private reads, and I garner that energy. Use the rhythms of the day and apply them accordingly. If you have to write or whatever, that can be when you're in a more restful, physical, tired time because it's not as taxing. But when your exercise regime comes up, whatever that is, you want that to be high noon if it's where your strengths are, 8 o'clock in the morning if that is. Really get in tune with your natural rhythms. And it's also about creating rhythms, having meals at the same time so your digestion is good. All of those things. Work with your natural ebbs and flows of mental fatigue too, right? Because I know around 3 o'clock, I get mental fog, so I don't do anything that needs concise or important answers. So working with your natural rhythms are very, very important. So let's see what else. What other things you have? You also have foundation. Now I like this. Now this is really important, and I have to do this each morning when I wake up. This is setting your foundation work for the day that you're doing. It's so you're not going back and forth. You're getting everything done, right? And let me give you an example. Say you have a meeting at 10 o'clock and you have to speak. So when you first get up over your coffee, you can peruse whatever your notes are so you feel like, you're strong in that element. Go over your emails quickly so you don't have that haunting feeling of, am I missing something, right? Set your foundation to be strong health-wise by a very good, healthy breakfast. I'm having that quiet moment before you leave the house. I know a lot of parents have that hustle and bustle and they go crazy getting the kids ready, making sure everybody's all set, hardly with a breath for themselves before they get in their car and then start their day. And same thing if you're self-employed. I have to watch out for myself as well. I'll sometimes get up, I'll get excited by an idea and I'll grab all my equipment and I'll start thinking, but then it's like I will have 10 decisions whirling at once. What decks do I want to use, topics, so on and so forth. I stop everything when everything starts to overload. And that's what this foundation is about. Never start climbing without the proper equipment, right? Get in that beautiful headspace. Maybe meditate or listen to some quiet music to get in a good headspace for that. So let's see what else is coming. And then I'm going to pull your one tarot, which I love this. So your major, let me pull a secondary qualifier. Oh, I love this. So firstly, you have the Page of Wands, which is saying, be alert to messages. Some are more subtle than others. And this is going to help you in your key to abundance, right? There are going to be little indicators from people, from spirit or otherwise, that help you on your life path purpose, that'll lead you to whatever quantifies as abundance for you. But we have to be aware and awake in the moment to receive these messages, and you are. And it's going to keep you impassioned and on your right path, which I really, really love. Now, this Four of Wands too is an indicator of be social, be out with your friends, really, really take a bird's eye view of who you hang out with. What people do you benefit most from? Which really lift you and make you feel great and wonderful? Hang on to them, maximize your time with them, and on the flip side, minimize your time or eliminate altogether time with people that do the opposite for you. And that's going to help you for your best future, because you'll be on your higher frequency when you're surrounded by happy, good energy. So beautiful, beautiful read for you guys. Good energy, everything for number one. Love and light to you guys. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Melanie Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in. today. Please press like and subscribe if you like my video. And I have like 500 more. I just found out, like, somebody's like, you have over 500 videos. So yeah, things are going really, really well and smoothly on the channel, and thank you for your support. All my links are down below if you'd like a private read. If you want to go to my Etsy store, I have all this handcrafted goodies and jewelries, and I'm going to be entering some stones. And if you want to come see me on Instagram, I'm constantly talking about crystals and stones and their properties. Like, I always have salt, tourmaline, and smoky quartz close by me for protection, for absorption of negative energy. Smoky quartz is fantastic for that. I like salt. It's purifying, really beautiful grounding. I love, if I'm not feeling 100%, I usually grab a big piece of Himalayan sea salt and I start to just turn it over my hand, and it somehow regulates how I'm feeling, and it's very grounding for me as well. So yeah, come check all of that out. So now we're going to go on to number 2, Samadhi, which is perfect acceptance. Again, this is a reminder. Accept your key to happiness is always about accepting where you are and what's going on around you without struggle, without resistance. Because when we're always saying, well, it should be this way, it should be that, we're saying we're not happy with what we have or what our life is. And that's very lacking in gratitude. So we want to switch that around and go, I'm in perfect acceptance. I am so relieved that I get a day of rest, that I can have time alone, that I can go on nature walks, that I can watch fun programs, that I can, eat delicious meals, all of these things. And oftentimes what happens is we have an ebb and flow in life. So we have kind of like feasts, sometimes quite fallow, right? Where we just don't have a lot of activities. And that's a reminder to slow down and start to take care of ourselves. I like to do self-help and self-repairing when that happens, when everything slows down, when my work isn't like flat out. I like to do a little self-care. I really look after my skin. I go for walks. I exercise more. I plan out diet. I do fun little stuff with my son and daughter that is always revitalizing, things like that. Perfect acceptance, whatever we are. If we're not receiving what we want or expect right away, we accept that. It's going to be all the more richer when it does arrive. And we do need to think like that, because otherwise it just creates anxiety and craziness, and we don't need that. Stability. I feel like stability is very key for your happiness, because nobody likes a surprise around every corner. You know what I mean? We do need some stability. So this also reminds us to not let a temporary diversion from our path to stop us, right? You're back on track. So keep going, be firm in your convictions and your commitments. Don't let others divert you from your truth and beliefs, because you've come a really long way. So do not give up. Keep going. You're almost there. Sometimes it seems like we're just climbing and climbing. We're having those 7 of Pentacles moments where, like, okay, I've done the foundation, I planted it. When is the reward coming? When is the calm coming? When is the stability coming? It is coming. So don't let anybody diffuse your flame by trying to divert you. Just be really focused, because that's going to really be your key to your happiness, is knowing that, you're in alignment with your true path purpose. And what anybody else is doing, it doesn't matter, because you're a total individual. Delight in being your own person. You are connected to the coolest people, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, your everything, cats, dogs, sea monkeys, whatever you want to be connected to, that's going to give you a sense of stability and groundedness, and actually help you have your focus. Because you next have the Diamond card, which is Illumination. You're going to have massive spotlight shining on what you really want and where you're going. That's going to help you so much in your happiness, because I feel like you have a lot of diversity. Like, you have a lot of things you want to do, and you were probably having some problems focusing. Well, what am I really good at? Start to make a list and ask yourself this one component. What could I do all day that I wouldn't get tired of, and I have a gift for, a natural knack? And then start to let some ideas about that get into place. Do a vision board. How would you set up your office? How would you set up your website? How would you set up your YouTube channel? Whatever, your own cafe, whatever is your dream, how would you set it up? And how would the day progress there? And who would you involve in it? All of that. You're going to start to get some illumination on your life path purpose, where you want to go, where you're going to want to divest your energy. And that's super important, because then you're going to have a sense of calm. Because most people are like, I'm not really sure what I want. And that is the key point, to really pinpoint what is your gift. Where are your strengths? What would you want to do? And could you earn a viable income from it? And how would you go about that? And there are experts out there, and there's a million YouTubers out there that can tell you how to do that. I mean, it's very, very substantial. Look, and your major overall energy is 9 of Cups. So you are going to have lots of things bearing fruit, emotional calmness, stability. I call it the full house of warm company, of people you want to be around. That's very important for your calm future. I feel like you're not really into gossip and low vibrations and things that just are distracting. And some people say some horrifying, ballistic, crazy crap out there. Like whenever I'm in public, I'm like, I can't believe I'm hearing this. So I don't like crowded restaurants or Starbucks or anything, because people just say, they try to be provocative so they can get attention. It's really annoying. But this is like divesting yourself of all that kind of crap. This is about only allowing in warm feelings, warm, grounded energy, beautiful people. You're really going to be able to read in between the lines, and you're going to have an immense power to do that and realize who's really in your wheelhouse, who's helping you, and it's really good. And you're also going to get a lot of gentle reminders and empower yourself to be an advocate for your feelings, your well-being, your all-around mental health. When somebody pushes your buttons, you can just, impressively, lightheartedly remind them that isn't your particular cup of tea. Things don't have to get harsh. And sometimes the more gentler we are, the other people realize that they are being a little bit harsh and also ineffectual, so they're just spinning their own wheels and they're not getting anywhere. That's very important component, because I do feel like you have family members that kind of like ride you a little hard, or they're very judgmental, and you just don't need that. You're like, that's not part of my best future, but thank you. And you also have the outer spirit, which is saying you are never alone. You always have spirit, you always have ancestors, you always have this loving group of entities and energy that surrounds and helps you in such a gorgeous way. And that will be a source of comfort to you. So reach for that as well. Beautiful energy group too. I love that for you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And all the buttons are there for like, subscribe, and I love the notification bell so you'll know when all the new videos come in. And the little gray arrow brings you down to all my links down below. I have an Etsy shop with all kinds of fun crystal and healing jewelry. I'm just starting to post some art there, because I know over on Instagram people are like, oh, is that for sale? So I might put up some of my artwork when I can find it, all of that stuff. And if you'd like to support my channel, my Patreon page, everything is down there. And the September Goddess Provisions box is coming out soon, so I'll probably have that in a day or two, and I'll review that for you guys too. So beautiful. Yes, no, you are never alone, and that's so gorgeous, and it's such a wonderful feeling to know that spirit is there. You're protected. Things are in place. I love that. Yeah. And you are assuming perfect acceptance stance, which says, thank you. I am grace. I am calm. I accept. And then you move on. Beautiful. So now we're on to Merak, which is embrace oneness with the universe. I love this feeling. As soon as I go outside, I experience this. I'll listen to all the minutiae. I'll listen to the crickets. I'll listen to the birds and all the beautiful flora, fauna, everything going on there, the wind. And I realize how many billions of things are occurring every second that are amazing and filled with light and wonderment. And that's a key to my happiness. And I feel like it is for a lot of people. You also have Bornite, which is joyfulness. Now this is saying reach for things that give you joy. If you're an artist and you want to sketch, or you want to sing, or you want to dance, what is your number one interest, and are you spending enough time doing it? Really allow the majority of your time that is free to be spent on those things you love. Say no to all these little niggling favors that you do for others, all this time that you may spend sometimes that is not honing in on this one thing that elevates you, lifts your frequency, your vibration, makes you want to sing, dance, and say thank you. Like you immediately have gratification that you can do this, right? Like I know when I'm making jewelry, I'm like, I can't even believe I get to work with all this stuff. I get so excited. Tarot does the same thing. Sometimes I just hold a deck of my cards and I feel innate joyfulness, because I know from any moment that a million ideas can spring in, and I'll hear a million different things from spirit, and I'll know it'll help people on their journey, and I get very, very excited. But that is your key to your happiness and your best future, is doing what gives you joyfulness and recognizing and having gratitude for it, saying right away, thank you, spirit, for this. I'm super excited that I'm able to do this. How lucky, right? Like, I'm going to give an example back of that. I saw like a gazillion boats in the harbor the other day, and it was the nicest day. And I said to Ian, why are these people not out on their boats today? And he builds boats, and he owns a company called, I almost forgot. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. I'm having this weird thing go on with my head that when I have so many swirling thoughts, I actually get like a vertigo, so I have to calm down and just kind of like freelance. But within his yacht building and fixing company, he said he has noticed, and the stats are like 90% of the people's boats just stay on the dock. Only 10% of them use them at any given time. And I thought that's such a shame. These very, these things that allow you to sweep across the ocean and see, orcas and see dolphins are just sitting there, like a toy. If I had a boat, I would be out every sunny day. I would be out on that boat. And I used to live on boats with Ian, and we would sail. He would captain them, and I would do some steward work and help him and cook, and it was so much fun. Well, this is really great for you. So this is reminding you, this is a huge key to your happiness and abundance too, is your power. You're more powerful than you think. Enforce some authority. Someone is trying to influence you. No. Enforce your authority. Walk away from those who don't serve your highest interest. Reclaim your self-power. Investigate your past lives to heal fears and persecution. I do this all the time when I realize that I have very few fears, but I do have two phobias. When I'm driving over bridges, I absolutely freak out. And, well, I don't absolutely freak out, but I don't like it. And I have weird, my heart palpitates. It's crazy. And in closed spaces, and when I did some past life readings and investigation, I definitely know I was a POW in World War II, that I was in a very enclosed space, and it freaked me out. And another thing that, it's like there's a whole series of things, but you can find out from that. Also, this is about too being really kind of discerning with who you want to share your dreams and hopes with, because a lot of people will be uber supportive. They'll be so like honest to goodness, authentically cheering you on. And some people, out of this fear of being left behind, or if they're ego driven, they'll try to drill holes in it, and they'll try to like criticize, and some people are very circumspect about it, but they're not being helpful, and it kind of can be draining. So you're going to be able to recognize that and say, listen, if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't contribute in a positive way, I'm not really interested in the dialogue. Honestly, stand up and say that. People respect that, and they stop. I sometimes have to do this even with my teenagers if they're poking fun or being stuff. Like if I have book ideas, that's like my son sometimes is like very analytical, and then I realize I need to recognize my audience, as do you when you're speaking. If people sometimes just want to look for what will create problems, we don't really want that opinion, right? I feel like, again, read in between the lines. And I feel like now too, something else that's going to be important for you is to have a peaceful home. Do your part to create a really beautiful home that aligns with the calmest, gentlest part of yourself. And everything you do and say can be accomplished at a measured and civilized volume, okay, with tranquility and love. And it does start in our home, where we don't feel like we've over accumulated things. We don't have too much. We need a reprieve from the world when we go in our home, right? So that is going to be great. Another thing that's going to help you is no self-criticism. Release the desire to critique your life, who you are, and where you're going. Instead, how about you embrace it and you love everything about you? Because your last energy card is a buffalo spirit. The abundant universe is going to provide what you want and where you're going. Your needs are not only going to be met, but like tenfold, and your accomplishments that you see like maybe at a 6 are going to be at a 10. It's one of those things where the universe is backing you. You've put your focus and determination there, and the universe is like, here you go. Here you go, man. You deserve this. Here's some happiness. Here's some success. Voila. And it's beautiful energy. I love that. And I love that at a 10, a completion cycle. So very beautiful energy. So, and I love that for September too, because that's September's monthly date. So gorgeous. I love that. So anyways, that is your read group 3. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my linkazoids are down below. Private reads, all those goodies, go check it out. It's gold mine down there. Got lots of things. Just start pressing and see what comes up. But anyway, good luck for your best future, your most happy time. I feel like it's coming. You're aware, you can feel the change. You're reaching for motivational thinkers, dreamers, speakers, and they're helping you, and you're just getting focused and ready for it. So I love that. Gonna go upload.